Yo! Oh my God! The legend! Yo, hold on, son. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Do you understand? Listen, if my grandmother was alive, rest in peace, my grandmother would have lost all of her mind to be able to meet you. So my grandmother taught me how to play video games when I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
And it's been my life ever since.
All right.
To meet you is an honor. We're about to do an epic interview. It's about to get crazy. Wes. Oh my gosh, my dude. It's an honor to meet y'all, man. So now, before we battle, do you think you can beat me, man? Like, do you really think you can beat me? Because I play Tetris. I'm nice.
Oh, okay. So I haven't played Tetris in years, but I think I'll give you a good game.
Let's go, son. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh man, I don't like the way this started off. All right, let's go.
Does it have?
Let's go.
Oh, shit.
Yo, Wes, I'm gonna get him, son. I'm gonna get him. Let's go.
It takes time for it to lock down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hold up.
Oh shit.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm just being nice now.
Yeah, I don't like this piece. Oh man.
Is there a hold? Oh yes, there is.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you trying to come back? Nah, you ain't messing with me. Let's go. Okay. Ooh, now I'm gonna put this over here. Oh my gosh. Yo, it's just such an honor to play this game with you, man. You don't even understand. I'm like very emotional right now. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Hold up. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Let's go. Oh shoot! Let's go! Oh! Oh! Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Oh, I see. We're switched to a different game.
Oh!
Did I?
Oh!
Yeah, you did.
Yo! How you do that? Yo, Wes set me up. It's all Wes' fault. Yo, how? That's crazy. Yo, this is why he's Henk. This is why he's Henk. Yo, it was just an honor. Oh my God. Yo, that's crazy just there. Y'all saw that? Yo, I had him. But that's Henk, man. You go check out my brother, Henk Rogers, April 9th, Barnes & Noble, 5th Avenue. Is going down 12 to 2. You don't believe me? See me? One item, no. One item. That's what he's signing, all right? One item. You know what I'm saying? Because he got things to do. You know what I mean? But Henk Rogers, the perfect game. He's the reason why we go crazy over Tetris and the world knows about it. Barnes & Noble, 5th Avenue, 12 to 2. Make sure you get there. April 9th. Yeah, let's get it. Yo, listen, let me explain something to you right now. It's not every day you get a chance to meet up with someone that the legendary word in the dictionary can't even describe the greatness of my man Henk Rogers. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. Growing up, one of the biggest, most important video games that we've ever played was Tetris. right? And it don't matter where you go in the entire universe, everybody knows Tetris. This man is the person that had the discipline, the heart, the actual genius to be able to build with the creator of Tetris and bring Tetris to the world for all of us to finally be able to enjoy. Now there's a video game called Tetris Forever. Why? Because this man's work, this man's legacy is forever. So I present to you the forever, the greatest, the greatness, the legend himself. 1, 2, 3, give it up for Henk Rogers. Yo, I just gotta shake your hand again, man. God bless. It's an honor to meet you. First question, man. Did you realize what you was doing when you had that moment when you was playing Tetris and you realized with all the other games that was at this particular event, you just had to keep coming back to that Tetris? Did you realize what you was doing? Did you realize how people would receive it in the moment you felt the way you felt about Tetris?
Well, I know how I felt. And the big question at that time is, what was everybody else thinking? Because this is, this wasn't the #1 publisher in the US. Other publishers had passed on Tetris, can you believe it or not? And, there wasn't really a hype. It was one of, 40 games that company was releasing at that year. And so I don't think they knew what they had. They thought it was interesting, but they didn't understand that it was going to take off the way it took off. And so a lot of stuff was still available. They didn't think about the Nintendo rights, for example. They were just on the personal computer. Wow. And I couldn't, when I first played it, it's like, whoa, there's something going on here. This is not like another game. This is maybe one of the most interesting games of all time. And so I kept coming back, and I got to get this game back to Japan. I was a publisher in Japan at the time. Wow. And I got everybody else in the company everybody else in the company got hooked on it.
Wow.
That was, and it was obvious to me that it had that effect. And it must have had that effect in every place that it had been before. Because it'd been in Europe, it'd been with Mirrorsoft, it was in the US with Spectrum Holobyte. It must have had that effect, but people I remember being in the office of Doug Carlson. He was the president of Broderbund, one of the big companies at that time. And I said, Doug, did you look at this game? He says, yeah. Why? They came to me and I passed. And I said, but how do you feel about it? He said, well, I play it every day. You play it every day and you pass. How does that work? And he said, well, I have a person who's in charge of deciding what games my company's going to publish. And I said, could I meet this person?
Yeah, fast. Like, what's wrong with him?
Like, yeah. And so this guy comes in, and I said, I just want to shake the hands of the person who passed on Tetris.
Wow.
He said, no, it's just not. It's not our kind of game, or whatever it was. And the same thing happened in Japan. When I came to Japan, there was a company that had the first right. And so Spectrum Holobyte came to Japan. They went to visit ASCII. They owed ASCII for something. They made ASCII had funded them for, and so they had to go there first. And they went, and ASCII said no. And you know what their reason was? The game was too retro.
Stop playing.
The game was too retro.
Did it really have, what?
Freaking 1988, the game was too retro. And I'm going like, oh yeah. I mean, like, that company is gone. Yeah, and Tetris is still here.
Yeah, I see why.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So I got a major question for you. This moment with Tetris and them passing on it reminds me of another moment of a company passing on something that turned out to be so crazy. And that's actually like Microsoft passing up on Grand Theft Auto, because they didn't understand that you go from top down and now you this big open world. Like, how was that going to work? Like, they couldn't see the vision. So the question is, how do you operate when somebody else don't see the vision? Because sometimes we spend so much time trying to convince other people to see your vision, whatever. What did you do, or what did you realize where it's like, you know what, I have to do something about it because they're not?
Well, you know, like, I liked the game. And that means we have one customer, and that's me. And you know, I'm not saying that I'm like everybody else in Japan, but when I saw everybody else play and get hooked on, and you know how Tetris is, once you start playing, you can't stop.
Facts.
And so, I mean, it was fairly obvious from the get-go when I saw people play. It's like, wow, I got to go after these rights, and I did. That became my mission, is to go after all the rights. Wow. And I published Tetris on 7 different personal computers. They're all different in Japan at the time, and on Nintendo, on the family computer, which is the NES.
Yeah.
And then at that time, Game Boy was coming out, and I was like, wow, this is the perfect game for Game Boy. Who has the rights? And I was looking through all the contracts, and nobody had the rights. It was specifically handhelds were completely outside of any rights that anybody had. So I said, okay, well, I'm going.
Wow. So the process of you getting the rights to Tetris and stuff like that, what was that like? Can you walk us through what that process was like? Because I can imagine if people see you trying to get something, they may not understand the value, but for you to go that hard to try to get something, there must be something there.
Yeah,
so,
you would think that it works that way, but it doesn't work that way. You know, like, there were many publishing companies in Japan at the time, and others must have seen it, but we don't talk to each other. Hey, how do you like that game?
Right.
No, if I'm interested in a game, I'm not going to tell my competitors that I found a good game. I'm just going to keep it quiet. And the funny thing is, there was the company that I licensed at that time, that I was working on to get the license for Nintendo, was a company called Atari Games, or Tengen. And now Atari Games is owned 46% by Namco.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, Namco. So I was thinking, shit, Namco is going to grab this thing up and publish it in Japan. And how am I going to find out if Namco is after it? Because Namco at that time, I think they still do, have a policy. They don't license anybody's game. They only do their own games.
Interesting. Wow.
And so I was at a computer game show, and I met Mr. Iwatani. Iwatani is the guy who made Pac-Man. So he was like the freaking god of Namco. And I go up to him and I say, Iwatani, what do you think of Tetris? And I could see his face. He drew a blank. He'd never heard of it. So Namco owned freaking Tengen or Atari Games, and he had never heard of it, which meant that nobody inside Namco was looking at this game, because he would know if it was a thing inside Namco. Right. He would know. Then I knew Namco hadn't looked at it or wasn't interested. Wow. And then that's when I went after Atari Games, and I got the rights from them.
Wow. Now, what's so amazing what you said is you got to ask the right questions. So one of the things that I do in my own business model, because I'm not just talent, like I do a lot of big business as well. So the thing is, I look for what I don't see, and I listen for what I don't hear. And the reason why that helps me out is because if I listen and I don't hear something, it lets me know that I'm able to speak like on it. And if I look for something that's not there, then it allows me to be the answer to show it. So literally, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have one of the greatest games. Like this is insane.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. Somebody would have figured out eventually, but I was just faster than they were.
Hey, that's important.
That's
so, like,
you know.
So now, let me ask you this, because this is so fascinating to me, right? So you get the rights and everything like that. What was your approach to making sure that the world felt the way you felt when you first experienced this game? Because I know you spoke about Game Boy, and to be honest, when I had Game Boy, that moment for me, Tetris on Game Boy, done. Like I couldn't let it go. Like it was crazy, bro.
So when I first got to see Tetris, the way Tetris was very different from the Game Boy game. Basically, you start playing and the game just gets faster and faster and faster, and you don't understand where the scoring has come from because you're playing the whole time. And I said, that's not how arcade games, for example, how they work. When you go to Pac-Man or Galaxian or any of those games, you play for a while, and then there's a period where they calculate the score.
Yes.
So you know how you got the score. You know, like, and I also wanted there to be more than one way to make points. And so I invented single, double, triple Tetris. That's, you know, that give you something else to do while you're playing at the slower levels. And so the whole structure of the Game Boy game, yeah, that was basically my Japanese version on the Japanese NES, on the Famicom. And then Nintendo just basically copied that for the Game Boy.
What? This is crazy. Do you understand what's happening right now? This is insane. So now I got a crazy question for you, bro. So this is Hot 97, you know what I'm saying? The home of hip hop and R&B. I gotta ask you a question. Not sure like if you listen to a lot of hip hop or R&B or what your musical taste is, but listening to like the songs and the soundtrack of Tetris and stuff like that, like this sort of stuff.
I have a confession there.
Okay.
You know, like at that time, I was looking for music that was going to be popular around the world.
Right.
And so I wanted something that was already popular. But if I was looking around like today's music at that time, then, you know, music comes and goes.
Right.
And I was looking for something that would be timeless. And so that's where I looked at Russian folk music, because they've been playing or singing these songs for hundreds of years. So already it's got that timeless quality to it. Not only that, but no royalties.
Oh, what?
It's got like super popular music, but it's public domain. It's just like freaking Disney. He picks up all of the, you know, public domain stories from the old days, and he makes them into movies. And, you know, he doesn't have to pay nobody for the story. Cinderella is an old story, or Snow White, they're old stories. So, I mean, you know, if you could find something that is timeless. So the game, I thought, was going to be timeless. So I want to put timeless music on it.
Wow. This is a masterclass interview right now. This is crazy. So, but in this moment right now, just for the sake of conversation, if Tetris had like a hip hop soundtrack, right? Like you play Tetris to some of your favorite hip hop songs. Is there any like hip hop artists or artist period that if you could just do something with, just for the sake of just doing it, just being cool, what artist would you want to bring to Tetris?
I hate to say this, but it wouldn't be hip hop. It would be Jacob Collier. Do you know who Jacob Collier is?
No, put me on.
Dude, Jacob Collier is the Mozart of music.
Wow.
And if you asked him to play hip hop, he would play hip hop. He plays every kind of music. He plays every kind of instrument, and he's a composer, he's a singer, and he plays all the instruments all at the same time. He can go on the piano, the bass, the guitar. I mean, he plays.
So he's like a one-stop shop.
He's a one-stop shop, but he can also get other people to play his music. And he can even get the audience to play his music by having them hum while he's playing. So he turns it all anyway.
He's a magician with it. Like that's incredible.
But I do like I like R&B. My favorite place in New York is Terra Blues.
Oh.
That's my spot. I go there and I listen to soul music.
Wow, yo, you are one of the illest like dudes, period, bro. Like you're amazing. So major question before we get into this book. One of the things that I admire like so much about you is that you saw something that you wanted to do and went and did it, period. A lot of people, especially nowadays, like society has a way of making people like feel like they can't, like, you know, do a lot of things. What was that moment where, or that barrier breaking moment for Henk, where it's like, look, you only got one life to live. I'm gonna take this shot. I don't care what happens, I'm going for it. What about you as a person that allowed you to go for it?
I used to work for my dad. I'm the oldest, at the time, oldest of 8 boys. Wow. So I'm the oldest, and he was in the gem business, and I was working for him. He never listened to me. He never did any accounting. He ran every time his business would collapse, he would start a new one. I said, I'm not gonna be this guy, first of all. And he never fucking paid me.
What?
So
that's crazy.
It's like, you know, yeah. Well, I mean, like you get a job,
you're supposed to get paid.
Like, okay, but no, this is the family business, And so basically, when personal computers happened in Japan, I said, this is my chance. You know, I majored in computer science and I minored in Dungeons and Dragons in college. And so I said, I'm going to make a computer game and I'm going to show him that I can be a better businessman than he can be.
Wow.
So that's what I did. I made the first role-playing game in Japan. It's called The Black Onyx. It was the #1 game in Japan in 1984. So,
wow, I was two. I was 2 years old.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh my God, yo, this is man, like this is so amazing, man. So now I gotta ask you, man. You know, with this book, what do you want people to get out of this book when they read it, when they experience it? Because to me, it's kind of like a love letter to what your life's legacy is. Talk to me about the book.
So basically, all the book shows you is all the times in my life when I decided I was going to do something and then nothing was going to stop me. That's called determination. Yeah. And once you get that idea, you know, you think you have an idea that's different from everybody else's idea, you got to go for it, and that you can't let anything stop you.
Wow. Now, and listen, make sure. So I have my program in different schools. I have a gaming program in different schools. I actually partnered with Denzel Washington as well to bring my gaming my gaming program to his school in Mount Vernon, Denzel Washington School of the Arts. And what you just said is so important because I share these things like with a lot of the students as well. Like, you have to go for it. Like, when you have a gift, there's certain things that's only given to you for you to see, for you to do something with. Go for it. You are looking at a living legend, for real. Go for it. So I want to break this down. I don't want to mess this up.
By the way, I didn't used to be. I was just an ordinary student, and I finally made my decision that I wanted to be somebody. And that is the decision that anybody can make. You just have to make that decision and never look back. I've never looked back.
Wow. And yo, you know, when I tell you it's such a humbling honor, let me just give y'all the insight on this, and I'm gonna give you the insight. When I spoke to Wes, shout out to Wes in the building. When I spoke to Wes, and first of all, when I seen the email, period, I was losing my mind. When I finally spoke to Wes, I was telling him like, yo, what can we do to make sure everybody like really embrace this? Like, you know what I'm saying? People buy the book, they do what they need to do because it's important. And the more I spoke to Wes, the more I did research, the more I played this game, Tetris Forever and stuff like that. Man, it's not just meeting you, but I just want you to know that I'm someone that you impacted my life, man. Like so much, man. And I just want to thank you personally for it. On my belt, like if you look here, this is my grandmother. When I was thinking about my grandmother, that's my grandmother right here on the belt. That's my son right here, Marcus. He plays games as well, of course. And I just want to let you know that there's so much generations that even my grandmother gave me this. So just thank you, man. Love you and appreciate you. I just want to make sure you get your flowers. So I just want to make sure I'm right. Is it true that you're doing a book signing at Barnes & Noble's on 5th Avenue next Wednesday?
Wednesday, April 5th from noon. I don't know till what time. They said 2 o'clock.
But 2 o'clock, right?
I want to break that. I want to break that 2 o'clock barrier because they're not going to stop me.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
If there's more people, they're not going to say sorry. It's 2 o'clock. Go home.
Yeah.
No, we're going to keep going.
Yo, listen.
We're going to keep going until we're done.
Please make sure y'all pop out to Barnes & Noble. Which Barnes & Nobles again? It was Fifth Avenue. Sorry, 5th Avenue, Barnes & Nobles. Please, April 5th. Make sure you're there, noon to 2. But it's probably going to go longer than that because of the legend. I'm not playing with you. Show up. This right here, this person right here, for you to have an opportunity just to shake this man's hand and meet him will literally move you and impact your life so you can go for it too.
Okay, and if you bring a Tetris item, one per person, I will sign a Tetris, like a cartridge or a whatever it is. But I mean, one per person. That's my limit. Otherwise, we're going to be there all day.
Yo, I remember the Tetris.
I've done this before. I've been to game conferences and like people want to sign like all this stuff. I said, sorry, just one.
Yeah.
That's my policy and Alexi's policy. We got to stick to it, ototherwise
it
doesn't.
It never ends. So now I got a major question for you, and it's based around this book.
Which book? You mean this book?
Yeah, baby. Don't turn it upside down. Y'all turn it around. Let's go. The perfect game. So, yo, look at this. Look at you, man. This is crazy. Look at this.
You gotta check this out.
Oh! Look at this, yo, son. Look at this.
You gotta rock it.
You gotta rock it. You see that? It goes up. Yo, that was genius. Henk, you don't understand how much I appreciate. Oh my gosh. So one thing I like to ask people when it comes to their book, the first word and the last word. I would love to see. Oh my gosh! Look at the way look at this. Do you see? This is incredible.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Here,
oh my
check this
gosh.
out. Wait a minute. So,
yo, I'm so.
Look at that.
Yo, bro. How did you think about putting the Tetris pieces on the end of the joint? So oh my God, that is genius, bro. I love it. I can't wait to dive deep into this.
The nice thing about this publisher is I kept creative control.
Oh, nice.
So if I'd gone with one of the big ones, they would have turned it over their department and they would have done everything. But no, I did everything. I mean, I designed the cover. I came up with the idea of the lenticular, all of that, and the pages flipping. That's also. I mean, and of course, I wrote the damn thing.
Yeah. No. You're incredible, man.
It's my first book.
Yo. Oh my gosh. I'm holding it. Like you don't even understand what this means to me. I wanted to ask you about Blue Planet Alliance because all the proceeds of the sales of the book goes to Blue Planet Alliance. I wanted to know why that's important to you, the Blue Planet Alliance.
So in 2005, it's a month after I sold my company, one of my companies.
Right.
I had 100% blockage of the widowmaker. That's the largest artery in your heart. 95% of the people who have that happen to them die. I was 5%. In the ambulance, on the way to the hospital, the first thing I said, "You gotta be fucking kidding me! I haven't spent any of the money yet."
Oh my God!
Like,
yo, Henk is a real one.
You gotta be kidding me! It's not like. And the second thing I said, "No, I'm not going. I still have stuff to do."
Right.
And in the recovery room, I have 2 stents, no problem. In the recovery room, I started thinking, what do I mean by stuff? I'd already made enough money, so my wife doesn't need me anymore. My kids already graduate from university, so they don't need me anymore. What do I mean by stuff? So I worked it out from the end of my life. What is it that's going to piss me off if I didn't do something about it by the end of my life? My bucket list. Wow. And the first one came to me in the back of the newspaper. Now, I moved from New York to Hawaii when I was 18. So from the
New York to Hawaii, that's crazy.
And I lived on the beach for a year, pretty much, surfing and diving every day. What 18-year-old boy from New York isn't going to fall in love with the ocean and the coral? Because that's the basis for diving and surfing.
Right.
So the article said, we're going to kill all the coral by the end of the century. I said, what the hell are you talking about? Ocean acidification. What is that? Well, carbon dioxide is being absorbed into the ocean, and it's changing the acidity of the ocean. So basically, what's going to happen is that the ocean's going to dissolve coral quicker than coral can make coral.
Wow,
now,
that's crazy.
That is screwed up. And so what's causing that is carbon dioxide. Why is there so much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? It's because we're putting it there. So we're doing it. And so I said, okay, my mission is to end the use of carbon-based fuel. And I decided I'm going to start this in Hawaii, because at that time, Hawaii is my home. So I'm going to figure out, first of all, where is the most carbon dioxide coming from in Hawaii? It's to make electricity. We were spending $3 billion a year on oil and coal to make electricity. How stupid is that when we have all the wind and all the solar and geothermal? We have all the resources to get it for free, and yet we're buying it. Why? Because they're too lazy to figure out how to do the wind and the solar and so on. Well, in 2015, I created the Blue Planet. In 2015, we were the first state to have a law that says Hawaii is to go 100% renewable by 2045.
What? Whoa. Stop. By law. See, that's different right there when you're able to affect policy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
We got the people, we had school children go door to door and exchange 300,000 light bulbs, explaining why this is going to save money and how it's going to help with climate change. And then we got the people on our side, and then the politicians finally caved. And then the utility who've been saying, no, they've been fighting us the whole time. Finally, after they've been told you have to do this, they said, okay, well, we figured it out. We can actually do this. And then we changed the business model of the utility so they make more money by switching to renewables. We're at 36% renewable energy today.
What?
36%.
First of
That's
all,
$1 billion.
Yeah, that is insane. And the way you broke it down, I love it because you make it where the average person could actually understand it. And a lot of times, if you got bad communication, things fall by the wayside because it's like, well, why should I care when I don't understand? So I got you 100%. That is insane, bro.
Since then, 15 other states have copied our legislation, including California, Illinois, New York. So 51% of the people in this country live in a state that has a mandate to go 100% renewable energy by some 2040, 2045, 2050, all around there.
Got you. Now this is insane. So I want to add to that because I got a couple more questions for you before we get into this gameplay battle. So my thing is, there's a company called Clean Play, and literally what it does is it's allowing people to play games, but you sign up to be able to do better with the way energy is created, like kind of what you was talking about, but gamifying it. So when you're playing a game, it's something that you can feel more proud of because you're doing something for the society and the earth and stuff like that. So my question to you is, from a gaming standpoint, with a company like Clean Play, how do we get more people, in your opinion, to understand the importance, like the everyday person to understand the importance of being clean when it comes to that?
You know, it's fine. People understand, or they know that cigarette smoking is going to give you lung cancer, it's going to kill you.
Of course.
But still people smoke. So the fact that they know it doesn't stop them. It's not enough. We got to change their behavior. So I'm more on the side of, let's change people's behavior. It doesn't matter why they change it. It just matters that they do change it. They do change it. And so when you talk about gamifying, of course, whenever I'm at a conference, about climate change, somebody comes up with the bright idea, let's gamify this. And then everyone looks at me, oh, you're in the game business, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not in the business anymore. I'm retired. Yeah, but everybody said, but you know how to make games. So finally I said, okay, I'll think about it. And I did. And we are basically going into beta right now on a real world game. And when I say real world, the actions that you take to go to the next level are not in the virtual world, not inside the game, they're in the real world. So they start off real small. So turn off a light switch in a room where there's no people. Pick up a piece of rubbish, put it in the rubbish can. Do a bunch of those small things, and then you go up a level. And then we give you bigger things to do. And while you're choosing which ones to do, we figure out what action you're most likely to take next. And then when you take some action and you find out how many people took that same action, you find out how much difference that made. So even though it's a small action, it adds up. It adds up when you do it more than once. It adds up when a lot of other people start doing it. Yeah. So even like if you think about don't throw the rubbish on the street, that action, if everybody starts doing it, all of a sudden the streets are clean.
Yeah,
and absolutely. We need to think about that for everything. And so it's called the Action App for now. We are trying to find a name for it.
Okay.
But you go up levels. There's two ways to make points. One is you take the action or you do it. The other one is you create an action.
Wow.
When you create an action and other people do it, it's just like posting and somebody liking your post.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Somebody does your action, you get points for that too.
That is fire,
Then it's all about who can create the most interesting action in the real world that other people are going to do.
Bro.
And if your action is taking off, and you want it to go even bigger, then you can latch onto an influencer and say, here's the deal. You support my action. And then what happens is your fans also take that action and you get points.
Wow.
And then we get competition between Ronaldo and Messi, football players, soccer players. You get musicians competing to see and get their fans to do the most good.
Wow. So I love that. Go competing for good. I love that.
Yeah.
Bro, so I got something, cause you brought this book here. Like, I'm very thankful. There's something I want to show you. This is big deal. But it's something I want to show you. I want to get your opinion on it. Jerry, what I need you to do is I'm gonna need you to bring the camera around so I can show Henk what this is. So Henk, what this is, Wes, you want to see this too? This is gonna be a moment. So, first of all, I'm gonna do the same approach that you did when you was talking to Namco and all of them. So my question to you is, have you ever heard of a website called Ludio?
Ludio?
Yes.
Ludio?
No, Ludeo.
Oh, Ludio. No, I have not.
Okay, so he haven't heard of it. He haven't heard of it. He haven't heard of Ludio. So, yeah, you pull it back a little bit. So, Ludio.com is the next generation of game discovery. And it's something that I'm like, if Tetris was on here, it'd be insane because of how instant it is. You don't have to own it. You don't have to buy it. Everything is instant. So what I want you to do, this is Ludio.com, right? I want you to just take this, turn the phone sideways, and then you'll be able to play. Catch them playing.
Start game.
Yep, start game.
It's Hitman World of Assassination.
Yep.
Okay.
Press any key to play.
Any key. There's no key.
Yeah, I know it.
Where's the key?
So now you can move around and stuff like that. Yep. And you can hit A to pull yourself up. A is right there. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you could now you move around with this thumb right here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then you only have like a certain amount of time, but you can come there and you can hit X right there to grab them. Oh, yo, he knocked her out. That was crazy. And then that's right there is a clone of Jean-Claude Van Damme. You have to destroy him. So if you push,
damn.
Yeah, I know, right? If you push this button and you walk over there, you should be able to drop him in the incinerator. But it's cool because 10 seconds is coming down and stuff like that. But here's the question. Here's the question that I got for you. And he's locked in. This is crazy. So what happens is once you finish it, then you have an option to get the game, whether on PlayStation, Xbox, everything like that. Now, what's so dope is, just like how you go to YouTube and you can just watch a video, you can go to Ludio and play a game. Just like that. So my question to you is, this experience with Ludio, and knowing how you went for it and you got the rights to Tetris, stuff like that, how do you think something like this, in your opinion, could change the way we consume and discover video games? Now, there's no barrier. You just literally go to a website and what you just played was from somebody else's game. They just uploaded it for you to play. So I could like literally send you a text and you can play a game.
Right.
Crazy. What are your thoughts on that little experience?
Well,
what are your thoughts on that?
So was this designed for mobile games or for PlayStation?
It's for everything. So if you, for example, if you're on your computer, as long as your controller, you got your controller plugged in or your mouse and keyboard, you can play with the controller, play with the mouse and keyboard, or you play on mobile, and you can put a controller to like the mobile, so you could play it like that and make it easier. Yeah,
I mean, it looks like a great idea. So the issue is getting people to try it in the first place.
Yeah,
so that's like, the thing. Like Ludio. So I've got to tell my friend, hey, there's this Ludio site, go check it out. That's the hard part. You know, getting people to come for the first time. Yeah, but from what I've seen, once people tried it, they was like hooked on it. Well, that's the magic bullet right there. I mean, if you can get that to happen, then you're gold.
Got it.
You know.
So now, one thing I wanted to bring up is I was at one of my schools that I'm partnered with, and I had everybody in class go to Ludio.com at the same time, and they all played it. And I was like, what did you think of the fact that you can go to a website just like how you would like YouTube, but now you can just go and play. And if you like it, you can buy it, but you ain't have to spend anything. Like the barrier of entry is just going to a website to play it. So I was like, it'd be crazy if like we could get Tetris and we could literally just go to Ludio.com and there's like different Tetris things and we can play it.
You're going to talk business, you're going to have to talk to my daughter. Because my daughter took over, basically she joined my company and then eventually she took over. She's the president and I'm retired. Wow. So she does all the business, she does all the deals. So if anybody wants a Tetris license, they got to go talk to her.
Let's make that happen. That'd be crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got 2 more questions and then we can wrap it up. I'll let you go. The next question I always like to ask a lot of people is, what was a moment in your life where you felt like you was at your lowest and things couldn't get any worse, but you managed to find strength in that moment that allowed you to be successful today?
I was 42. In Japan, they call this yakudoshi.
Wow, I'm 42 years old now, so that's crazy.
The yakudoshi. So this is for men. It's the bad year. So sorry, you're in your bad year right now. Sorry about that. But anyway, I had lost my way. You know, my original reason for starting my business and building my business was I want to beat my dad.
Yeah.
And I beat my dad, like, hands down. It was like, and I didn't have a reason. I lost my reason for running the business. Wow. And I became disinterested. Boy, I mean, at that time, I lost my business, I lost my family. I mean, everything was going down. And I remember I was in Japan at the time, and I had no idea where to go next. And there was this building in Yokohama called Minato Mirai, and Mirai is future. So I said, I'm going to walk to this building. And it was a long freaking way. It was like a 3-hour walk. It's the tallest building in Yokohama.
A 3-hour walk?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That gave me the time to think about it. You know, what's my future? What's my future? What's my future? And by the time I got there, it was like I put my everything behind and I started from scratch.
Wow. What did you think about the most during that 3-hour walk? Because that's crazy to have a 3-hour walk, bro. If you could share.
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why do I do what's driving me? You know, or what's not driving me? And then you have to go and figure out what's driving you, and if that's enough, then great, keep going. But if it's slowing you down, you got to think, hey, what's slowing me down? Why am I not as driven as I used to be? And I just cleared my mind and started from scratch. Man. Sometime in your life, you're gonna fail. You're gonna have to get up. I love that song. You get knocked down, you get up again.
Absolutely, Denzel says that a lot.
Song, man. You get up again. That's it.
Denzel says that a lot. You get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. See you at work.
Yeah.
For the last question, man, and the last moment. You say, you got your daughter running the company, you retired and stuff like that. Is there anything to this day that you miss about those moments of getting the world to know Tetris? Like, what's something or a moment that you feel like if you could live this one moment forever, like you will, because it's one of those moments that made you feel the most alive in the process of getting Tetris out there to the world for people like us to enjoy?
I gotta say that making my deal with Alexei, the guy who made Tetris, he asked me to help him.
I would love to meet him one day. You don't understand. Oh my God.
He asked me to help him, and I said, I'm a publisher. I'm not into the licensing business. And he said, I want you to help me anyway.
Wow.
And I said okay, and we made a deal. We shook hands. That handshake is still alive today. Wow. If we are in the same city, every other day, bottle of wine.
Wow.
And we're not talking about Tetris. We're talking about all kinds of things. And we couldn't be more different. He likes classical music. I like rock.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He likes to plan things out. I like to adventure.
Wow. Yo, that's crazy because I'm like the same way. Like, I like the adventure. Maybe a little planning here and there, but I'm more adventurous. So I got you.
So we actually went on the two of us went on a tour, a trip in Europe. Just the two of us. We bought the Eurail pass, and this is the way we worked it out. One day it's Alexi's day. He plans it, and he decides where we're going to go. He gets the hotel where we're going to stay and all that. We go there. The next day it's my turn. We go to the train station. What's the next train? Where's it going? Let's just grab one of those. Okay, we go there. We have no idea where we're going.
Y'all just rocking.
And just like, and when we get there, it's like, whoa, this is a neat new city. You know, what can we do here? And we talk to people and do things.
Yeah.
And finally we figured out where we're going to stay. We don't, like nothing is planned.
Wow.
That's my way of doing things. I love to be lost.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, man, this has been so important. I hope y'all truly listen to the words that Henk shared. I really, really want y'all to get this book, please. I gotta ask, is this book for me?
That book
because I'm like, yo, I need this. Yo, we gotta get this. We gotta get this, please. Because he's gonna sign it for yo. Where's he gonna sign it for? He's sorry. I can't wait. I need it. Yo, please, yeah. You put to HipHopGamer, please.
To HipHopGamer.
Yeah, please. Oh my God. Yo, where's he signing it, Wes? Yo, to HipHopGamer. Oh my gosh. Yo, such a legend is signing the perfect game. Wow. Wow. Hey, thanks so much. Listen, y'all. That was it, man. This is it. My brother Henk signed the book for me. If you really want to know the truth behind the perfect game, you got to listen to Henk Rogers, because he has a story that can perfectly get you on the right path to your perfect game.
From zero in New York, from zero to having a movie made about me and writing a book. Wow. Anyone can do it. You just have to have determination.
Let's do it. It's the go to the game, HipHopGamer on your Hot 97 every day. That's my word. And we out of here, baby. Peace.